Definitely hats off to Arizona and to the way they played. I mean, I'm somewhat surprised and puzzled, to be honest with you, at how we're approaching the start of games and our lack of aggression. But again, I thought Arizona really came out and shot the ball well early. I mean, we tried some different defenses to try to throw them off a little bit, but Ari was really good today. Nothing we could do with her at all. Tried several different things, but we didn't have an answer for her. But it goes back to just a lot of fundamentals that we're not really doing very well. But again, they had a specific game plan against us, and I thought we had one against them, and they made us pay a little bit for the way we game planned against them, and I think we weren't able to do that. And when we did get some confidence and get some things going offensively, we could never get any stops. And I think right now, as much as it looks like our offense is our problem, I think the fact that we can't get consecutive stops is a bigger problem for us right now. I think we're really struggling defensively to try to get consecutive possessions where we feel good about getting out in transition and doing some things that I think we do well. And right now, in my opinion, our bigger problem is on the defensive end, even though we're not shooting the ball well at all. I mean, that's obvious to everyone.
Does that surprise you? I mean, that's kind of been the thing you could rely on when whether they're missing shots or committing turnovers. The defense has always been there for you.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, there's no question about it because we spent, a lot of time early in the preseason working on the basic fundamentals like jumping to the ball and help side and guarding the ball, but we're really struggling right now with guarding the basketball, which is why I thought that the zone would help us a little bit. But again, they answered that early and got us out of that pretty quick. But we're struggling with more than just that, though. I mean, just some connection, and maybe it's inexperience, but we're really struggling with just some little things, subbing and not knowing who we have, not getting back in transition when we know that they're a transition team. I mean, just some simple fundamental things that we have to do way better because we can't afford right now to have possessions where they get easy buckets because we don't know what we're doing. Well, I mean, that's on me. I mean, it's completely on me if we look like we don't know what we're doing, and we look like that a few times tonight. Again, it's puzzling to myself and our staff because we practice right now way better than we're playing, and I don't know why there's not some things translating in the games.
This one's for you, Joyner. What do you think were some of the key factors that kind of led to your struggles in the first half to the team?
I think she hit it on the head. Just connection right now. We have some groups that work well with each other right now, and some don't. So I mean, we just have to get that under control. And I think just adjusting to the way they were defending us, as well as us adjusting to the way they started lowering screens, and we didn't realize it till almost second half. So just picking up on things a little earlier, I think. But mainly, I mean, I don't know. We just couldn't really knock down shots tonight, and that was kind of hard because, I mean, they were packing the paint. Credit to their defense. I mean, they played us well. They scouted us well, but I think we could have shown a lot more. I think we're capable of a lot more, and we weren't able to show it tonight. I don't really know why. I can't really give you the true answer behind that, so we'll figure that out in the next couple of days.
What were the difficulties guarding Yeri McDonald? She had 44 and then 22 in the first half. Just what was she doing that just made it difficult to guard her?
I don't know. I mean, she's fast. She's quick. I think we all saw that, but I really don't think it was I don't know. I couldn't even give you the answer. I mean, we just, like I said, we didn't adjust early, and she just kept going downhill. So, I mean, we just have to learn how to adjust. I mean, she wasn't doing anything spectacular. I mean, she was just going downhill, so.
Sure. Joyner said about them packing the paint. Is that the reason for so many turnovers, trying to get the ball inside against a crowded defense?
Yeah, like she said, credit to their defense. They packed the paint really well, taking away our post players, taking away drives. So that led us to a bunch of turnovers. So they did a really good job.
What can you do to a matter of you have to make threes?
It's just a matter of taking our time, getting on 2 feet, fundamentals, taking our time, getting on 2 feet, hitting shots. If we don't have a shot, keep attacking the defense and reversing the ball. I think if we just need to do the fundamental things, then we'll be all right.
So maybe too rushed.
Yeah, too rushed right now.
So this is a question for both Coach Aston and both of you. So for Coach Aston, how do you motivate your players when they're coming back from a deficit, and how do you stay motivated when you're playing from under?
Well, it's a long season. It's way too early to panic, although I think the way we played today is alarming. But it is, again, if we didn't practice better, I would think this is not going in the right direction. But I'm again, I mean, our whole entire staff is a little puzzled by the fact that we make shots in practice and we make some of the right decisions, and we don't seem we're willing to make extra passes and extra plays. I think that we're young in a lot of areas, and you can see that in particular, as Joyner said, when we put in a different lineup or someone subs in, there's a disconnection that happens very quickly that costs us possessions, and the flow doesn't happen. And I think as we go along, they'll get more comfortable. But it's a long season. We've got to address this and get better. I mean, that's all you can do is get back in the gym and try to figure out some things that we're not doing well and, slow down. One of them would be to slow down offensively, but I do reiterate that we've got to figure out something on the defensive end because we gave up too many points. We gave up too many points at half.
If somebody told you before the season that Joyner and Charlie would not get in foul trouble, you think you would have a much better result than you've had the last?
I think that there's a fine line right there, and we haven't found it. We haven't figured it out yet at all as far as, again, I go back to our first scrimmage against a really, really good team, the closed scrimmage, that we were really good defensively in a lot of areas, but we fouled a lot. And then you go to the exhibition game where Charlie fouled out, and now here we are playing 2 or 3 games, and they don't have any. And I think they're trying to figure out how to be aggressive and not get in foul trouble. But we're going to have to get to a point where we throw that out the window, because when you get yourself in such a hole because you're not playing any defense at all, then it can mess with your psyche a little bit, And I think we're playing soft, nothing like we're used to playing, nothing like I'm used to watching. And I think it has a lot to do with players being concerned about fouls, and that's something that I think you have to work through and figure out as you go along, and obviously we haven't figured it out.
So you think maybe like it's a situation where avoiding fouls and not helping on somebody like McDonald when she gets in the lane?
Yeah, that was obviously our game plan. Again, if you go back, the only thing that Joyner didn't answer really about McDonald when you asked about that is that we had a game plan, and it was to keep her out of the paint because she gets fouls. She averages, 15, 16 free throws a game. That's a lot. So we had a game plan to try to get her out of the paint, A, not to foul her, and B, so that she doesn't create for others. And she made us pay for that. That's what a good player does. And then we didn't adjust quick enough to, okay, yeah, she's making the jump shot today, so we're going to have to do something a little bit different. She made us pay all day long. There's no question about that. But again, yes. If you had probably a free-spirited mindset as far as I'm going to go over here and knock one out in the bleachers, then maybe we would look a little bit different, but we don't. The reality is we have what we have. And we have to figure out how to guard different with the lack of depth that we have, and we have to figure out how to be more competitive and not worry so much. We'll figure it out if it happens, if we get in foul trouble. But right now, we're giving up so many points that it doesn't matter that we're not in foul trouble. We're giving up uncontested shots.
Joyner, back to you. against UTSA, y'all were dominating in the rebounding category, but today the numbers were a little more even. How do y'all get back going forward into dominating on the glass?
I mean, the two teams, they're so different. So, I mean, it's not really easy to compare Arizona and UTSA. So, I mean, in that game, we kind of knew, like, that was the game plan and the ball had to go through the post for us to score. But, I mean, in this game, like I said, they were packing the paint. So, I mean, it was much more about us, like, hitting shots, I guess, and then me and Charlie trying to read the ball where it was coming off of. But, I mean, I don't know, I guess just trying to read the ball and get the ball where it comes off at. I mean, tonight was a little bit more difficult just because, I don't know, a lot of our shots in the first half were, like, long. So, they're going back out to where the guards were, but I guess just getting in position and trying to read where the ball's going to come off of.
Jordan, where's your level of concern as one of the leaders, one of the older players on this team? Where's your level of concern, considering the fact that it is just November as compared to maybe this time of year in previous years at this team?
Yeah, I mean, it helps us a little bit because it's still early, so we have time to find groups and people that work together well. But I mean, like Coach said, we practice so much better than we've been playing, so it's really weird. I don't know. But I mean, granted, it still is November, so we have time, you know. But I wouldn't just continuously keep using the excuse that we have time because at the end of the day, time is only, it's only so much. So, I mean, just trying to get back in practice and figuring out what we're doing wrong, watching film as much as we can, and just dial in on the small things, I guess. And I mean, we just got to see who works together well, and that's who we're gonna play with. That's who we got to rock with,
Coach, can you take any positives?
I mean, I definitely think I have to remember that there are some players that are in situations that they've never been in. And they haven't reacted, so to say, great to them. And I think that they'll get better as they go along. I mean, we have 2 freshmen, and Joe might as well be a freshman as far as playing time is concerned. And then we have LaShawn coming back from not playing at all last year. We have Shug that didn't practice all summer and all fall. So I think there's a lot with our guards that has to do with timing, feel, comfort. And we're not there yet with our guards. I mean, I do think that Charlie and Joyner are starting to find a groove with playing together. Again, the aggression's got to change a little bit, but I do think that they're finding chemistry together. And I mean, I would even speak to the rebounding. I mean, you give the other team shot 50%, so there wasn't a lot of rebounds for us to get on the defensive end. I did think that in the second half we tried to get involved in the rebounding game a little bit with our guards, which we have to have some answers at the guard position. We can't rely on those 2 to get every rebound, and we just have to get some answers with our guards as far as manufacturing some points for us. And I could sit up here and say I'm disappointed in. Like I said, you have LaShawn coming back from not playing in a year. She doesn't have the same confidence level. Shug literally just started practicing a week or 2 ago. So I can bitch and moan about what they're not doing, but I do understand that the expectations would be a little bit unrealistic when they haven't been playing. So we have to stay positive and try to just teach them more and try to, make some adjustments with what we're doing and continue to try to get better. That's really the only thing you can do at this point.